I'm Steve Mignonti doing the Junkyard Crawl in rural Massachusetts with a 1980 Cadillac Seville four-door sedan. Now, the Seville arrived in 1976 as a rear-wheel drive Cadillac luxury car based on the Chevy Nova. Yeah, it's true. But for 1980, it was redesigned with front-wheel drive, something called the K-body, which was shared with the Buick Riviera and the Olds Toronado. The styling sort of was reminiscent of the Hooper limousines from England, Rolls-Royce limousines, and with the bustle-back style. Three possible engines with these things were the 5.7 old gas V8, the 5.7 old diesel V8, or the Cadillac 6-liter, and they have it right there. It's 368 cubic inches, 145 horsepower. But that engine right there is a direct descendant of the mighty Caddy V8, which was 500, 472, or 425 cubes. From 67 on, that engine lived through several iterations, but again, as many as 500 cubes. In its final wind down, we see it here, 368 cubes. Has fuel injection. We'll get to that in just a second. Something weird about this too, it has the federally mandated spring-loaded grill with RC blows. The idea there is if you're on a bicycle or something like that, you smack your head in that thing, it deforms the grill, not your skull. The idea was there. And of course, speaking of deforming, the bumpers are mounted on hydraulic pistons so that the metal bumper, which is a massive affair, can push in about 5 inches. I can't do it with my leg, but this thing pushes in and comes back out thanks to a hydraulic piston, which theoretically would restore it to the shape after 24 hours. That was the idea. If it worked or not, I don't know. And the hoods on these things are pretty massive. Now, earlier, the Eldorados had a one-piece or two-piece hood with a seam down the middle, but the Seville actually has a one-piece stamp. It's a massive thing, but the Eldorados had a two-piece hood with a seam down the middle. It's a one-piece hood, big stamping, and that stuff right there is a metal divider. It's a trim piece, but again, a one-piece stamping, a big stamping right there. By this point in time, I guess the body division, the Fisher body, get their act together, at least enough to make massive stampings like that in one piece. And on top of the fender tops here, LED directional things. These things are illuminated by LED fibers in there, left and right, so they blink when you're going left or right. So from the driver's seat, you can see if you're going left or right. If you can't see already, you should put down the beer. And of course, AC mandatory. The smaller GM design right there, sort of a smaller sort of rotary power or rotary style compressor right there versus the older piston type of earlier Frigidaire systems. These are about as efficient, but they're lighter. That's the good thing here. They're lighter and about as efficient. Here's the cruise control system right here, made by, I believe, GM's Guide division. I think. But that right there would be the cruise control. Kind of a cool thing. And again, this is fuel injected for sure. And we'll take a peek there on the other side, on the fender right there. Of course, the fuel injection was the big thing, was the buzzword. Now, the original Seville in 1976, 75 had fuel injection also, courtesy of a throttle body. It has the same thing, but Seville fuel injection here. Same basic idea. It's a dry flow throttle body with 8 injectors plumbed into the intake manifold. Kind of a neat thing. Front wheel drive, of course. First year for the Seville front wheel drive seen here. Something kind of cool right here. Breaker. This is the factory GM Delco CB. Check it out. You know, CBs were a big deal in the 80s and 70s. Breaker, Bandit. There you go, right there. Kind of cool to see. It's a factory option, the CD. Let's look inside. A lot of luxury on these things. Of course, leather everywhere. The seats. It's a split bench. It's a fold-down center armrest. Very luxurious. Of course, being a Seville, top-of-the-line Cadillac, well, almost top-of-the-line. Of course, the Eldorado was still rear-wheel drive at this point in time. Well, it was front-wheel drive, but the bigger DeVilles had rear-wheel drive still at this point in time. And again, just a great-looking car. And the flat floor was the benefit of the front-wheel drive, so no transmission hump, no drive shaft hump in the floor, so flat floor. Nicer for people to spread their legs out and travel in style. And we'll go to the other side, but in the meantime, we'll make our way around. And this is the bustle back, patterned after the Hooper coach builders of England of the 1930s, 40s, and even the 50s. Right here, the bustle back, this thing right here. It's purely for style, but kind of a great touch. The Chrysler Imperial copied this in 1981, 2, and 3. So I guess imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. More of the impact absorbing massive bumpers right here, bonk. more of the same. And something kind of interesting, a lot of people say you can tell the year of a car if you look at the lenses, and there should be a number baked into it. You see right there, 80. That's true. The SAE, the Society of Automotive Engineers, mandated that would be there because that certified it was safe and legal for use on roads. So 80 is the year. And one thing too, the lenses often change from year to year. It had to be certified from year to year. So that's a great way to determine the year of a car if you can't find anything else. Look at the lenses, and more often than not, you can actually determine the year of the car based on the lenses, front and rear. Kind of cool. So a lot of room in that trunk. Kind of a goofy trunk, but it's truncated. The trunk is truncated, no joke. But again, here's a nice lot of room in there. The Space Saver spare has been liberated. Here's what it looks like right here on the ground. It's made by Goodyear. It says convenient spare. This thing's got no miles. Here's the stripes for the identification. These things here show the line workers which size car this went onto, and meant to be used for temporary use only. It says maximum 60 psi, and it says maximum speed 50 miles per hour. Try me. Great for doing burnouts. Let's continue our walk and go this way. Got to say, I mean, there's a lot of handwork. Is this a one-piece stamping right here? I dare say, there's got to be seams inside of here, I'm sure filled with lead. A one-piece stamping like that could not really be done easily, at least not for a budget. So it's great to see all these massive compound curves right here. Expressed very nicely, no wrinkles, just really well done. Good for you, Fisher Body and Cadillac, for Cadillac style. As they said, Cadillac style. Well, here it is, right here in the flesh and the metal. Inside, once again, power windows front and back. Leather back seat. The bench is has leather inserts, I believe, all the way around leather. Pretty cool. At the back of the seat here, the flourishes here have a Cadillac crest right there. Little details like that really add up to a quality presentation, and people buying Cadillac paid a lot of money, almost as much as a Mercedes, frankly. I would say that the Mercedes might be a better value for resale and otherwise, but again, Cadillac wanted people to know they had a quality car, so they baked in little things like that to catch the eye. Easter eggs, I actually might call it. The only thing I can't forgive Cadillac for is these hideous fake wire wheels. At least they're made of metal, but they're pretty cheesy if you ask me. They're not plastic, they're metal, the spokes even. So there they go. But that's, I won't say unfavorable, but it gives American luxury cars kind of a black eye, these fake wheel covers. European cars would have an actual aluminum wheel. Cadillac wised up, they had aluminum wheels on these things later on, but here we have the last of the fake wheel covers. And inside we can find here the dash with all kinds of electronic stuff, cruise control, the information center, all of that, I believe that's lights, maybe LED stuff. Yeah, the digital dash, I think. No, that's just, look at the gauge on it. Max speed, I can't see it from here, it's probably 85 mile per hour. I think the 55 mile an hour speed limit thing was pretty much done by here, but with that said, the 85 speedo gauge was still in effect, I think till about 1991-ish, something like that. Detroit finally broke away from that silliness. Here's cruise control right here. Made, I think, by Guide, I believe, GM Guide division, I think. And again, tilt column right there. If you're a big belly, you can, select your pitch and go down the road without ruffling your belly. But again, kind of a cool piece. American, luxury here. It's vulgar but beautiful at the same time. I think it's a great looking car in so many ways, and especially with the bustle back. Only seen for 5 years, 80 through 85, this style right here, the K-body. So if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to C-Mag's YouTube channel, and make sure to ring the bell so you know when the next video hits, which is tomorrow morning. See you then.